Hey, moron!
You talking to me? You talking to me?
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Hello?
What an idiot!
Well, what do you expect? I'm the movie moron.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
No, none taken.
That is right, none taken. I am the movie moron himself, and this is the Movie Moron podcast, and a bonus episode at that, because we just recorded Top Gun yesterday. But yep,
Top Gun
yeah,
from 1986.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah. Top Gun Maverick's coming out later, and Trevor had never seen it, so we were like, nothing came out this week new. I mean, there was two like tiny horror movies. So we're like, you know what? Let's just stay at home, show Trevor Top Gun, and be ready for Top Gun Maverick. Are you disappointed that I didn't invite you on for that one?
I've never seen it.
What? Another person that's never seen Top Gun?
This child of the 80s has never seen Top Gun.
So you come to the podcast room in Aviators, and you've never seen the movie that
people
made...
call me Maverick
Yeah.
sometimes. No, I've got a kind of a funny story about that, but I won't bore you with it. But I just thought it looked kind of macho, dumb.
It is probably those two things. You can listen to the podcast if you want to kind of see some of our thoughts. We don't do any spoiler free though, so we will spoil some of the movie for you. But it is.
I think I got
good.
the gist of it after all.
Yeah. That's why we didn't care about spoilers, because like it's been out for 45 years or something. So because it was
35
years, yeah. So, well, yeah, I'm your host of the podcast. My name is Easton Moore.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
That's new.
Yeah, that is new. Adam has not been in the podcast room for a little bit. Sounds like he's a little behind on the episodes too.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to figure out how many movie references I could guess from the intro, and I think I got like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, there's actually only a few that I didn't that I hadn't like heard before ever. And there's a few like I was just looking about movie quotes of people
like
calling
dumb,
each other idiots.
yeah.
And there were a few that I just found that I had never seen the movie before.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people. What is that from?
That's one that I didn't know beforehand. It's a movie with
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. That's Jamie Lee Curtis saying that, and
okay.
it's been about 2 months since we made that intro, maybe even 3. Okay. So I'm a little far removed from it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I could definitely look it up at some point, but over there is first I will introduce the all-time guest, Tristan.
Good sauce.
Why did you do that to me?
Because you're always eating the mic, so might as well just bite the bullet and
What did he
do it at the
say?
beginning. Good toast. It's Nacho Libre.
Oh.
Yeah, your favorite.
I actually thought it might be from Superstar. When he eats the burnt
It's funny
toast.
that I introduced this without anybody knowing, and now I give you your guys' sound bites without you guys knowing what the sound bite is. And so the first 5 minutes is just us talking about the sound bites that I pick for us.
That's true.
But anyways, and then the other person on the couch is obviously not Trevor, but it is a guest who's been on for a couple episodes. It is our uncle, Adam Knapp.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to hear this.
Of course.
That is a great idea.
Those are the only kind I have.
Ah,
I figured what
Grandma's
better
boy.
What better than to go ahead and give him his grandma's boy reference?
JP taking credit for someone else's idea.
Yep. I'm not saying I knew that when I picked that. It's more of I have very select sound bites to pick from, so I have to find things that fit, and it's pretty difficult. I usually spend 25 minutes before every episode
You do pretty good.
going through clips and trying to find something. So, anyways, this is a bonus episode because over the past few days, like I said in our Top Gun episode, we all of us went into the Doc Sunback Film Festival in Mulvane, and it was my first ever film festival, as well as Tristan over there. And we invited Adam on to kind of talk about the film festival as well, because he was there and he also volunteers for it. And he's also he makes the rounds because he's made a couple of documentaries himself. So he's been to a lot of film festivals over the past, 5-6 years?
Right.
And so I figured he has some knowledge, and also we just want to talk about some of the movies that we saw. So we're just going to kind of talk about the experience. If you guys have never been to a film festival, it can feel daunting kind of to have just 2 to 3 days of just watching movies. So we'll kind of break down what that is. We'll kind of shout out all the movies that were played. So if you guys are listening from the Sundance, you can kind of hear some of our thoughts on some of the different movies, and then we'll end the episode talking about the big feature film that was showed, which was sorta kind of maybe that Adam and I watched, and Tristan was not able to watch that one specifically.
I'm so sorry.
She had church.
Yep. So did I, but I dipped a little early. Tristan didn't want to, so.
Well, when your dad's the pastor.
Yeah. Makes it harder to dip when he preaches. So yeah, I kind of have the schedule and all the movies. So if you guys have never been to a film festival or and kind of are interested, this is a film festival in Kansas. It's in Mulvane, Kansas. That's, I believe, just once a year around the same time.
Yeah. Always been in the summer until this year. They moved it to April. And I'm not sure what the future schedule is going to be like, but I think they like it in April, except for the occasional tornado that wipes out a Friday night feature.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, this is just something really local. So if you guys are in Wichita and you guys like movies, it's basically a bunch of you do have a bunch of local both in the area when it comes to like Hutch Community College does a couple films that you can watch. So you can kind of see some college students that are submitting work. I know there's a couple WSU that submitted, I believe, some shorts, and then there's just adults, that are making films. Blue Barn was a big company that did, or a production company that had, I think, around three or four.
At least 4, yeah. And they're, by the way, they at least 2 of them, I think maybe 3 of them teach at Hutch Community College.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
And so they're a little bit of a bigger production company in the area.
They've done some great stuff.
Yeah. And they're mainly documentary stuff, but they branch out every once in a while, do some comedy shorts and stuff like that.
They do some really funny narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the way that this film festival works, and I guess I don't know about all film festivals because this is my first, but it's really just a collection of a bunch of documentary shorts, narrative shorts, and animated shorts, with a couple of, there are really only 2 movies that broke an hour. Tristan wasn't there for either of those 2. And I don't know if Adam, if you were there for the Stonehaven.
I was not.
Okay. That was about an hour doc by Blue Barn Productions, I believe. So,
okay. Yes, I was. But yes, the house in Tonganoxie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Extremely well done. And so it's just a lot of local like you get a lot of local stories. A lot of the stuff is centered around either the Kansas City area, the Wichita area, the Hutch area. There are a lot of documentaries about some historical pieces in Kansas City. A couple about one specifically I remember about a person in Wichita. That was a really funny story. The who scammed Raja Rabbit.
Oh gosh, yes.
Which is I guess that's her second bigger documentary.
Yeah. Sarah Harmon.
That's played. I'm glad you know names because my sheet here doesn't have any directors' names and I couldn't get any. Yeah. So I'm not very good at names. So remembering those after watching them was pretty rough.
Right.
Because I think we talked to both Patrick and Lolo a lot and it's still hard for me to get their name. I even listened to one of their podcasts today and that's helped me even remember their name more and I still messed it up. So so names aren't my strong suit. But yeah, I think we can just kind of talk about I just want to run through if any of you guys did go to the film festival or made the movies. I don't want anybody to feel left out that we didn't talk about their movie or at least name it. So I didn't go to any of the Friday stuff. Did you?
I did.
Okay. So it looked like they did something called I Love My Car. And so the way that they did this film festival, I don't know if it's everyone, like I said, but they kind of have a film bundle is what they call them. And they're all centered around a topic. And so, and they do them in blocks. And they're usually in between an hour to an hour and a half blocks of all movies around this point. So the first one was I Love My Car, which had Chevy Gasser, No, I'm Not a Dentist, Auto Body, Little Eve, Checkpoint Auto, that were all in that block. So I don't know if you have a movie there that you thought was kind of above the rest or just, stuff that you liked in those. But
well, I'm not really a car guy, but I will say Chevy Gasser was it was a vehicle that you just couldn't take your eyes off.
Gotcha.
So it was really attention grabbing. No, I'm Not a Dentist is the Blue Barn guys.
Oh, gotcha.
And did you happen to see the car parked outside that was covered in the
the teeth? Yeah.
The teeth and the toothbrushes.
Yes, that was insane.
So that guy, and they were at the round table on Saturday, but that guy drives that little car all over the country, film festivals, or car festivals.
Wait, it works?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
Does it ever?
Yeah, he was giving people cards and stuff.
And the one question he always asked is, "What do you think it is?"
A question about the car?
I'm not a dentist.
Are you a dentist?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
That makes sense.
So that's just a really cute dog. That's got a special place in my heart.
Oh, it was a documentary about the car.
Yes,
and
he is
him.
a Kansan. So yes, he's local. I can't remember where he lives.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. But so it's kind of a local documentary about somebody that does something a little odd and gets a little short. Okay, cool.
And he ends the documentary with saying, most people have this creative side of themselves that they never let out. They go to their jobs. They think, gee, I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to do this, and most people never do. And he just kind of gives a little inspirational speech about many people have it inside them, and you should just do it.
Yeah,
and not care about what anybody thinks.
Sweet, that's cool.
Amen.
And I think a lot of that can apply to people like me who have always I haven't always wanted to write screenplays, but once I decided I wanted to do it, I just kind of did it with no expectations, and it's kind of led to me. Actually, people call me a filmmaker, and I still that
feels weird to hear.
A little bit. But
yeah. If we have any listeners out in Germany, you can see his film. At this next film festival. I don't know where in Germany it is, but
it's in Berlin.
There you go.
The 11 millimeter International Film Festival. Yeah, I leave for Germany a week from tomorrow, and it'll play at the Babylon Theater a week from Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah, if you're in the area.
Yeah. We do have international listeners,
you
but
go.
I'm sure there's not a whole lot. But if you're the one German that decides to listen for this podcast, then go watch this documentary. It's really cool. We saw it opening night, and I'm sure there's some German players. Is that kind of why it's playing out there?
Well, it's the festival is really centered around soccer. So,
that's cool. Okay.
It's kind of the premier soccer film festival from what I understand. So
Yeah.
the Wings had a German player or two, but their bread and butter was England and Denmark. But
Yeah, because I remember it played in Denmark, didn't it? Or because you went overseas once. You went across the pond once so far.
Yeah.
He went to go interview them and stuff.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was in a festival over there too. Like there was a showing.
It's been in Liverpool. It's been in Wales. I think we're expected to play in Copenhagen.
Okay. See, I knew it had played overseas. I guess I didn't know if it was.
Yeah.
I guess those probably weren't film festivals. They were just kind of like how you showed it to Wichita at first. It was just a big auditorium that you rented out and played it.
The premiere?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was the Orpheum. As you know, yeah, that was a great night. But yeah, Wales and Liverpool were film festivals, but we couldn't go because of COVID.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is the first one you're going to be able to travel to.
This will be the third because we went to Tallgrass and we went to Austin Revolution.
I meant overseas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Tristan was right on you only went overseas once for the interviewing of all the players. Well, the next doc it was on Friday was just almost sort of maybe. So
yeah, and I saw the first half hour of it.
yeah, and that one got stopped, and we're gonna talk about that at the end anyways because Tristan's gonna bounce because she didn't watch it. So
I'm so sorry.
If I could say a word, while
100%.
Tristan is here, Patrick and Lolo started showing up, I think around 2017. I think that's right. And the year they showed up was really the year the festival kind of took off. I in my opinion, it became a lot more fun.
Wasn't that only the second year?
It was actually the third year.
Third year. Okay.
Can't really count the first year because it was they just kind of threw it together in a few weeks. But
gotcha.
But they're a lot of fun. They're kind of eye catching, both of them.
Yeah.
And Patrick's 6'3" with long blonde hair. And,
doesn't always have the long blonde hair apparently, but
right. And Lolo, you don't know what color her hair is going to be, but she always pulls it off.
Yeah.
And
they're just nice, personal people. I mean, they're going to come up and talk to everybody there, and
absolutely. And I was thrilled to see you guys talking to them because I'm like, well, geez, they're all they're two couples in their 20s. You guys are from the KC area.
Uh-huh.
Tristan from here, of course, but you have that movie connection, and they're just super nice.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I love about Doc Sunback is it's just so inclusive. There's no snobbery, there's no egos. It's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pennies on a dollar compared to what you'd pay for another, big time film festival. And, it's very non-assuming. And, I guess that's why I always have a special place in my heart for it.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if this is every year, but there was a good mix of local stories, but you also did get some really cool international shorts and docs too. That
Yeah. And in the past, that's actually been a pretty big part of the festival. And I've seen some cool things international. Just pretty wild and
that you'll never get a chance to watch if you don't go to a film festival. So that's what makes it cool. And it trust me, it is daunting. I was there from 11:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night on Saturday, and then showed up at 11:30 on Sunday and left at about 5. But you don't have to. I'm a person that if I leave, I feel like I'm gonna miss the good one.
Right.
So, and I definitely would have if I would have left for one block, I would have missed, one or two really good ones, because each block had some. Not saying any of them were bad. That's not my point. But you're missing something that you wouldn't.
Also,
have saw
there's like a little something for everyone.
Oh,
like
yeah.
East and I don't even like our favorite ones aren't the same necessarily.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess inclusive, like you were saying.
Yes, it felt as newcomers, nobody there knew us. I guess when we name dropped Adam, we got him a little bit more hospitality. Because they're like, oh, okay, this is a special invitation. So
It's like that guy that keeps showing up every year.
yeah. But yes, everybody was super nice. We got to meet some of the filmmakers and talk to them. I talked to the Blue Barn Productions guys, which they were really nice too, and
super chill.
Yeah, everybody's super chill, and I'm more of a laid back person where I need to be approached for the most part to get a conversation, and most people are more than willing to come up and talk and ask why you were there, what some of your favorite things were. Like even the director came up and talked to us after Saturday and asked kind of some of our favorites and stuff like that.
That lady that was sitting behind us that we ended up talking to for a long time.
Yeah, that we didn't get a name for or
Yeah,
anything.
I'm so sorry. She
was an actress in one of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was thin and tall and blonde and had a pixie haircut.
She was the actress
she was in Waste My Time.
Waste My Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The short blonde hair.
Did you? Well, if you're listening.
Yeah, reach out on Twitter.
Tell us your name, please.
Did you meet Anthony and Amy?
I believe so. Were those they were the couple that did Bag Full of Trouble?
No.
No. Okay.
No, that's Roy and Gina.
Okay.
Gina.
They did Franklin about the guy who puts together the girl, makes her come to life.
Oh, okay.
Which actually played before my documentary out here in Kansas when we played it at Roxy's. But
really?
Yeah.
I was there for that. I don't remember.
Oh, well, this was the second time we played.
Oh, the second time.
Yeah,
okay.
You were at
we
the
talked about that
premiere.
afterwards. Yeah.
But they moved to San Diego right about the time that happened.
Oh, are they the ones that also wrote Student?
Possibly, I'm not sure. But they're very involved, and in fact, they now live in L.A.
Yeah,
I believe.
That's cool.
Just for the film business, and
yeah.
But they were back for this, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
that's
it
cool.
sounded like they were. The director was kind of talking about the director of the film festival was talking about.
Yeah, that threw me off the first time you said it. Yeah. I'm like, there are a million directors in the room.
I think Farber is their name.
I think she said that they were like part of the first couple film festivals.
Yeah, they were.
And had some stuff submitted, and then they left for San Diego, and I guess maybe now they're in LA, and they've continued to send stuff even though they're out in LA.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they've sent, to be honest with you. I guess because they weren't there, I wasn't really paying attention to.
It is hard to,
but I know they're super involved.
Sweet. I didn't get a chance to talk to them personally.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But you met a lot of people. You and Lester had quite a discussion.
I know.
Lester's going to be interesting when he gets on the podcast at some point.
Is.
So he really, really, really wants to review Strangers, and I don't know why, but we'll get him in for a horror movie marathon and get a Strangers episode in, and
it won't be boring.
It will not be boring. It'll be very chaotic. A lot of strong opinions.
Yeah.
We had a lot of strong opinions at 11 o'clock at night as he was trying to sit there and just trash Stanley Kubrick.
When you guys wouldn't let me leave.
Oh, Lester
it was nothing but
and Francis Ford Coppola. This is Lester Rowe, who does Arrow Productions. Good friend of our Kenny and myself, and he's a riot. He's unintentionally funny. And sometimes intentionally.
I was about to say this. I feel like he might be super strong, opinionated because he knows it gets to people too.
Oh,
so.
he always gets a reaction.
Yeah.
He's got some hot takes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he believes half of what he says.
Well, I kind of stumped him on a few of his hot takes, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
when he
maybe I
comes
won't
in
be
here.
on this podcast with you too. I was gonna say, why don't you like talk about what it was like? Because so I came in like later. I went to lunch and I came back and met you there. You know.
I mean, what it's like is you're sitting there and you watch a bunch of movies.
No, listen to me. So I thought it was gonna be like you would watch a short or a movie, whatever, and then like the lights would come on and they would say something, and then the next one would play. And then the lights would come on and say something. You know what I mean? Like, I thought there was going to be breaks.
Gotcha.
But then, like, the next one was starting, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This is the next movie? I was, like, confused at first.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
No. They've got a lot of movies to show, and so they've got to keep that thing moving. And I think it is really cool to see a lot of shorts because not everything is going to be your cup of tea. And so... Yeah. Most of the time, you're like if you're just not really feeling it, it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it was bad or anything. It's just
it may not only be 5 minutes.
Yeah. There are some that were 4.5 minutes. I mean, I think the shortest one I saw, I think I saw the computer crashed once, and I saw the screen thing.
Right.
I think the shortest one was only like 2.5. So I mean, there's some real short and quick stuff.
It is tricky when you're at a festival that small because if you got to run to the bathroom or if you want to get a beer or something like that,
you feel like you're disturbing the peace.
You're disturbing the peace, and you don't know. I mean, the person that made that film may be sitting right next to you, and you leave when it starts, and they're like, "Really?"
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's just a fine line you have to walk sometimes.
It's another reason why I was trying to be pretty cemented and just sit in my seat and then they give like every hour you have a break. You have a 5-minute break every hour. So like if I want to go up and get something, that's when I got it. And
well, and that was nice too, because then you could talk to people, you know, for a little bit.
Easton, you would be a good person to moderate, like ask the questions afterwards. Don't you think you would, Tristan?
I feel like I would accidentally offend some people with my questions. I had a few questions. I decided not to say some of them. So
see right there, you're showing progress
by not asking the question.
Right.
Because that was also my first time ever being at a film festival, so I don't want to say something that's
sure.
I thought you were gonna ask some questions.
There's not a whole lot of
actually on Sunday.
Yeah, I ended up asking one about the
location.
Yeah,
Patrick and
Lola.
Oh
yeah, the location of one, and then I asked a question about definitely maybe.
Okay.
Almost sort of maybe. It's the name is messing me up because of Definitely Maybe. Is a movie with Ryan Reynolds that I'm a fan of. And so every time I think of the movie, I think Definitely and Maybe needs to be in it. So I'm fumbling the title every time.
So yeah, they started the show that Friday night. Tornado happened.
Yeah.
We decided, I understand they did eventually finish it, but I was long gone by then.
Oh, they did finish it Friday?
Very late.
Oh.
Like close to midnight. I think just a few people
stayed around.
So I'm told. I don't know if it could be true,
but a lot of people came back for the Sunday showing of it.
Yeah.
It was pretty packed for the last part. But yes, that is kind of the rundown of how it goes. It's just movie break.
I wanted to ask you so many questions and I didn't. Easton, you're welcome.
Yeah. If somebody's talking during the film festival, everybody will hear this person talking because you're in a.
Oh yeah, that couple next to us. Okay.
No, I was saying if you would have been.
I know, but then I remember that couple next to us.
But it's fine. I mean, wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you're taller like me, sit on the outside. I block some people's views. Right. I didn't think about it the first time. I just sat down in the middle, and later on, somebody sat in front of me. I'm like, oh, it's kind of hard to see the screen here. So after that, I sat on the outside because everyone's looking in.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
kind of out of the way.
No, do not wear your cowboy hat. Did somebody tell you not to wear it? Or?
No, they didn't have to. I took it off.
Okay. Well, I guess we can kind of run through some of these movies, and then we'll kind of talk about some of our favorites. But so this is just the HCC
recital.
Yeah, it's really blurry on my screen, so sorry if I have a hard time reading some of it. But we had it's just surprise lineup. But I know there was a movie called like Butterfinger. That's the only one I've.
Butterfinger. Yeah.
There was one about the last person on Earth. I can't remember what it's called, but I thought that was really cute. Do you remember that one?
I wasn't at that block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you got a couple of their
I got some YouTube channels from
Okay.
some of the HCC guys and gals.
Yeah.
And I think was there one about somebody like they were with a knife murdering in a barn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were like rewriting the script as it was happening.
I think I may have walked in the middle of that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the only one I think that was uploaded on YouTube that was also a Sundance one. Because all the other stuff on their pages were like 2 months old.
That's why twice you've done that.
Yeah.
Sunback.
Yeah. Instead of Sundoc.
Well, you
or
said
Sunback.
I thought you said Sundance.
Yeah, I probably did.
Okay. And it is a little
close.
Yeah.
I also when I was writing reviews on all of these, not all of them, but the ones I could on Letterboxd, I kept on typing Sunblock Film Festival and having to go back and erase. And there might still be 2 out of the 30 that I reviewed that still say Sunblock, and I'll have to reread those and
I was like waiting for you to be done reviewing, and they just kept going.
So I'm sorry to interrupt when you're just getting started on the.
It's okay.
Saturday,
We got all the time in the world. People like listening to our sweet voices.
So since you guys were, I don't think a few months ago you didn't even know about this. What do you think of the title, Doc Sunback?
I think it's fine. I know that like film festivals are going to have
Doc
Sunback was an actual person.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that.
So I was confused at first because I thought it was like documentary.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get that
like,
once.
Sunback maybe because like it's in the spring maybe.
And I think a lot of filmmakers are when they're choosing what festivals to submit. They think, this is just for documentaries.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I thought at first. But then they said they were saying the way that they were saying Doc Sunback. I'm like, maybe that's a person. Like it sounded weird in the way that they were saying it. And then Easton looked it up and it was.
I just was on their website and it said Doc Sunback was a veterinarian and Mulvane. But before I knew that, I figured that all film festivals have weird titles and it's just a fun thing. And I thought Sunback was just a weird word they had created to like talk about Kansas sunrises or something.
Right.
So I didn't make any, and Doc was just a weird preface or something. So I didn't think twice about it.
Kenneth Lynn, my filmmaking partner, actually put together a little 2 or 3 minute video about who Doc Sunback was. So, I'll try to send you guys, or I think you can find it.
Just on YouTube.
Probably, yeah. Really, really well done.
Sweet. Well, the next one we had was the Dance With Me, which was just a whole bunch of shorts or documentaries. All of these are just shorts, documentaries, or animations. They're kind of all intermixed. So it was all about dancing. We had Feet, Still Here, Two Dancers, She Moved the Prairie, and Paris You Got Me. So that was just a bunch of dance things. And we only saw one of those, unfortunately, because we were doing the filmmakers roundtable where I got to hear from just some filmmakers because Tristan and I went.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, we weren't filmmakers. It was our introduction to the whole entire film festival was just hearing filmmakers kind of talk about, what they're doing, kind of some like general questions of what's hard as a filmmaker, and just some questions from Lester
Which
and Adam.
I thought was really cool for you because you're into that.
Mm-hmm.
And
trying to, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you would like to get more into it, I guess.
Would you say it was inclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I felt like we were definitely like, we're not one of the filmmakers, so we were there more to listen. And like, if I had a question, I knew I could have asked it.
And
but
everyone was welcome.
Yeah, but I didn't really have any because I didn't know enough about the whole thing to ask any questions. I didn't know what to ask. So.
I think that's the third time Lester and I have done that together, and he always puts me on the spot every year.
Well, is it really putting it on your spot if you know what's going to happen?
You're right. I'm going wise to his trickery.
And I'm pretty sure Lester did the same. You did the same thing to Lester because you cut it to him, and he was like, "Well, I wasn't expecting that." So, So really, you guys are both just
yeah. We push each other's buttons a little bit.
Yeah, that was.
But no, and I think the whole experience was welcoming. Like, what's the lady that with the blonde hair and the cute jeans?
The one that retired after this.
Oh, Nancy Farber.
Okay, yeah. She greeted us like as soon as we came in, and there was only like a couple other people there at the time. And then later I heard her say Adam, and I was like, maybe I should tell her that's my uncle. And then we like waited a little bit, and then you came in and like introduced this is my niece and her husband, and then she talked to us for a second, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know if I should have like said that if you know him. And she was like, honestly, it doesn't matter because I just want everyone to feel welcome. And she did, she did a really good job at that, I think.
She is, the number one reason really I was turned on to Duck Sunback from the beginning was Kenny, because she and Kenny knew each other, and I wanted to support what they were doing, and they got Sherry Kaufman on board, who is a local, and she had been involved in Tallgrass, so she was really a catalyst to to helping them get organized, and I can't remember how many films she has watched, but it's mind blowing.
Okay, yeah, I think we were talking to her about when she was telling us her routine with her cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was her.
So those three, Kenny, Nancy, Sherry, have really been they've really just made it go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we're going to the next one, this is where we finally made it to the festival. Was beautiful Kansas, and so the first thing I got was a bunch of Kansas documentaries, and we got Land and Flower, which I believe was from a Kansas City director.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Stonehaven, which was by Blue Barn,
Right.
and then Micro Kansas
Tribulation.
which is also a Blue Barn Productions. And I don't think it's I think it's pretty safe to say Micro Kansas was the audience favorite. Right after watching it, at least everybody had some visceral reactions or audible reactions after watching that one. But Stonehaven was the big one, I think, of the whole entire day, really. That was the hour-long documentary about a Tonganoxie house that got restored that had a lot of rich history. So,
Micro Kansas, I first saw at Tallgrass, and I was so impressed by it. And by the way, this is only like a 3 or 4 minute.
Documentary.
There's no dialogue. And so I asked Bobby if he'd be willing to screen it before we had our Augusta showing of God Save the Wings, and of course he was all about it, and so we did, and they came to Augusta, and did it not win best overall film? They don't have these awards listed by category, do they?
No, they don't.
I think it won the best. I think it won the big one.
I thought it just won. I thought it was the audience that it won.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But I it does not say. So I guess I don't.
Whatever it was is deserving, because I don't think there was and Kenny beat me to saying this, but there wasn't a film that had everybody on the edge of their seat the way that one did,
Mm-hmm.
and that the reaction.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Oh, I didn't know
Michael
that.
Kansas Tribulation.
Okay.
Blue Barn has their own YouTube channel, and it's really terrific.
Well, there you go. You don't even have to go to a film festival for that one. So.
Well, you don't, but you should.
Yeah. Yeah, because if someone didn't go to a film festival, us, you would never have heard of it.
That's
so
true.
you've got to go to see some really cool stuff. The next one was I've Got Talent, which had Beautiful Inside, Brady Scott, On Off, The Magic Moment, Death by Koji, and Something to Fear. And so I don't think, Tristan, you didn't make it by this point. I think you came in for the horror.
I was at like the tail end of this one, I think. And then I was there for the horror.
Okay.
I really wanted to see this block, particularly Death by Koji. But Lester and Kenny and I were having a meeting. So
okay. Well, I guess I'm the only one that saw this. Out of all the ones I saw here, my favorite was Beautiful Inside. That was actually one I voted for as a whole.
okay.
Death by Koji was really good, but not necessarily my. I don't want to say not my style. It was really good. I really liked it.
And I think that's Julian Leiby, who is someone I've met in passing, and he's very young and he's done some good stuff.
Yeah, but it's about a Hutchinson native who is an extremely talented artist, but also does some bone collecting, I guess, as a part of his art, or maybe more art inspiration more than like using it as art. As far as what the documentary showed, it didn't show him using the bones in the art, but his art was very, very well done, but dealt with death and very like graphic kind of stuff. And it was kind of it was just showing his transition from drawing as a teenager, as a like an anime, just like drawing what he sees on mangas and animes and stuff like that, to creating his own style and what he wants to draw. And then he's also a trans man, so it's kind of his hardship of that, and then kind of how that kind of bleeds into his art and stuff. So
okay, it's got a hell of a movie poster.
Yeah, yeah, it is very heavily themed in death, because it talks about just his connection with death, basically, and so it's yeah. But yes, it was very well done. I don't know the guy personally or anything. I've never spoke to him, but it was really well done. I just had a more of a personal connection with Beautiful Inside. It was about a grandpa who was a woodworker, and just the small pieces that he's going to leave like throughout history. He's made these pieces of work for his family and his family only, and how these pieces will forever be in their family, and just submitting something as, not necessarily your legacy, because it talked about how he didn't actually sign any of his work, so it'll go unnoticed by anybody else, but his family knows the importance and the expert craftsmanship of those pieces. So it was really cool, beautiful film.
Sounds terrific.
Yeah. But a lot of the other ones in there, On Off won an award, and was a really good one. That was about it was an animated short about how if some of the most influential people in history had phones and they didn't turn them off, they would have never created the great pieces. Like Mozart may not have created the symphony if he was on his phone all the time, just worrying about getting likes
and stuff like that.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
That sounds really intriguing.
Yeah. It was an animated short, so the animation style was very drawn, but it was really cool. Huh. And you kind of pretty interesting, but it won an award, so obviously it did a good job. So, but Yeah. The next block was the Something's Out There, which was the thriller block, which had Student, Voice in the Dark, Pinata, Unsound, Scratch's Barn, There's Something in the Silence.
Okay. What was Student about?
That was about a. I feel like I'm ruining some of these movies by talking about them.
I need to know.
That one was about the woman that was walking around campus, and it felt like someone was always watching her, but it was posters that were on campus, like saying R.I.P. to this professor that died. And more than likely that professor, it's insinuated that professor did something to her, and there's a reason why she does not like seeing that.
Okay, I changed
poster.
my answer. I think I came in for the second movie of that block.
That was the first one, so.
Yeah.
These didn't play in order, by the way.
What the heck?
So,
okay.
Student did play first, but I have noticed that they did not play these in chronological order.
Okay.
So.
Okay, which one was the one with the hearing aids? That's my question.
That would be There's Something in the Silence.
Okay, I liked that one a lot.
I'm still waiting for you to hear about the one I was in.
Oh, Pinata?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you were in that one.
Yeah, we had actor himself and
Oh,
Pinata,
that's so funny.
which they were also a Tim Mulvaney, the Mulvaney director. And that was a...
They're in Wichita?
Yeah, they're Wichita. That's
Oh, that's
Roy
right.
and Gina.
They just
opened
bought a store in Mulvaney.
in Mulvaney.
And,
That's what it was.
and Nate
It
Jones
opens
also
tomorrow, everyone.
that was a 36-hour
Yes.
contest.
So, so a couple of
Right.
these movies were created for some competitions.
races.
Yeah, film races where they give you... I didn't even know this was a thing.
I know.
So sometimes
It sounds
during
so
these
fun, though.
film festivals, they will do 10-hour races, 36-hour races, or 48-hour races where it's just a set time. You're not supposed to have a script or anything. You don't have anything. They give you kind of a prompt that you have to write off of. And then
This one was Candy, right? Pinata.
Yeah, Candy.
Gina
it had to
said-
have a certain line of dialogue in
Mississippi. Misspelled Mississippi.
That's right.
But it had to be misspelled.
And they don't even give you a genre.
Yeah.
Genre before.
Which is good. It gives you more variety of...
Yeah.
And I'd never participated in one in my life. I had no interest.
He just gave you a call and...
Yeah, well, no, they asked me at a Tallgrass event, and once they assured me all I had to do was act, because honestly, acting is the easy part of those things.
Yeah.
Even though you might get called in the middle of the night for a reshoot or whatever, but writing that thing and editing that thing,
Oh,
I would
no, I'm
think
sure
would be
it's
the
grueling.
hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
We were hearing about film races for the first time during the roundtable, and I had texted Tristan, I would never want to do that in my entire life.
Right.
Because I'm too much of a perfectionist in what I try to put out there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you can notice that through the podcast or not, but I spent way too much money right off the bat trying to make sure that this sounded as good as possible before we put it out, because I wanted it to be good. And say, like, I've scratched episodes because it just didn't, there was something with the sound. It didn't sound right. And like, I was like, I'm not going to put something out there that, and not saying anybody does put something out there. I would just feel like,
Yeah, no, because I wouldn't care.
yeah.
And like I said, I never had any interest in them before, but now that I've done it, I kind of get it, because the more you go through this process,
Makes
the
it all
better
easier.
you get, the better you are under pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are under a deadline. I think it does. I think it does make you better.
I feel like it could kind of. Sorry.
During the round table, I did think about asking, like, is the reason why you put up, like, you try these races is because it's a really good training exercise for you to write, like, when you next time you write a script, you've just got a whole nother script under your belt. You've got a whole nother thing of filming under your belt, a whole thing of editing. Like, you have the whole process of a filmmaking in 36 hours. So, I mean, that's got to be a great training exercise. So is that why you do it? Or do you just you want your films to be just right off the bat, just quick thinking, and get it out there, but I didn't ask. But I was wondering if that's kind of what it was, is if they like the training exercise of just getting it all under the belt or not.
I suppose different people have different answers to that.
That's probably fair. Okay, well, my favorite in that was also Something in the Silence. I thought it had a cool premise, was creepy, and it ended exactly how I wanted it to end, which I know maybe is bad of me, but I like that they didn't just show the believing that you can do it is gonna somehow keep you safe. Also, Demi's trying to get his toy. He would have been scratching at you for 20 minutes, so I figured I might as well help out. And you said that was your favorite too, right?
The hearing aids one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Piranha was a very good one.
You mean Pinata?
Pinata, sorry.
No, it was really
Piranha.
good.
Yeah, Pinata was cute. Well, I don't know if cute's the right word, but I kind of felt like it was a little bit.
It was original for sure.
We did finish in the top 10.
Yeah. It was a comedy horror for sure.
And we won, and we went top 10. I can't remember how many, maybe 20. And we won the award for best costume design.
Which for sure, yeah.
Very understandable.
Yeah.
I was robbed of the best actor. Just kidding.
I guess your death scene wasn't quite.
Oh, spoiler alert! No, just kidding.
Sorry, you didn't go to the festival. No, I'm just kidding. But to be fair, you spoiled that to us beforehand.
I did?
Yeah, you said something about dying.
At the round table.
Yeah, you talked about dying in the.
That's right. Yeah.
Their movie.
Honestly, I completely forgot about it by the time we watched it.
And that's America's Front Porch. They also have their own YouTube channel, by the way. So they've got a lot of funny stuff.
I knew they had their own production company, but I didn't know it was.
And if you're near Mulvane, their store opens up tomorrow.
May the 4th.
Oh, never mind. It's not open tomorrow, Tristan.
That is tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, it is tomorrow.
A Star Wars memorabilia and many other
Toys.
things.
Okay, they did not tell me Star Wars memorabilia.
No, they didn't.
They just said.
Darla and I got a sneak preview of this on Sunday.
They told me old toys and books, which we were still going to check it out off of that. But now that there's Star Wars memorabilia,
there's
Robot Roy's.
But
I think is what it's called.
I can't believe I didn't realize tomorrow was May 4th.
I can't.
Well, it says open May 4th, and I asked Roy, and he's like, no, it was just a happy coincidence. I'm like, you got to run with that, man. May 4th for those of you who haven't caught on,
Yeah, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. So.
Yeah, I don't even feel like it's May right now, so maybe
I know, isn't that crazy?
Maybe that's why.
It's Destiny's birthday today, and I was like, what?
Yeah, my birthday's in a couple weeks, so
yeah,
count down the days till I finally get a day off work. So
yeah, for real.
But yeah, there were a lot of really cool ones in there. Scratch's Barn had a really cool story, so that was
and like close to home.
Yeah,
which was cool
for real.
For true.
Only in Kansas was the next set, and this was just documentaries. We had Bird Lady, which was a high school student up in Kansas City who submitted this documentary about a statue that was randomly just placed and replacing one that had gotten run down, and so the city randomly bought this statue, threw it up, and fake birds just started appearing on and around this statue. No one knew why, and he kind of dug down and figured out why through some other sources and stuff, and wrote a cool little story. And then there was Who Scammed Raja Rabbit, which was one of the bigger documentaries that was shown. Was this the the first showing?
No.
Okay,
they
had done
Tallgrass
too. Okay.
Yeah, and I've known Sarah Harmon for a few years. She and I actually met each other on the set of Gridiron.
Oh.
Which journalism fundraiser, but this was their second documentary, and I thought she did, and her sister's involved with this too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's Charity.
Yeah,
or
that's
Chastity.
right. Charity.
Is it Charity? My apologies, Charity, if you're listening. But they collaborated on this, and I just thought it was really well done. It was tight. It was super informative, super entertaining. They didn't have many visual graphics, but the ones they did have were really cute.
Really good. Yeah. They had a lot of pictures of all the stuff, and they pulled a lot of old video of Wichita.
Yeah.
That was really cool, just imposed in there.
Like nearly 100 years old, and they spoke to experts that and it's not long, it's only a half hour, but I lived here most of my life and
never heard of it.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, go watch that one. Especially if you're in the Wichita area, it's about a guy that pulled one of the biggest scams in Wichita history.
That's probably safe to say.
Which I was wondering, because Grandpa Great was an entrepreneur owning a water bottle company.
That's true.
Was he also a scammer?
No, he wasn't a scammer. But I'm wondering if he
invested.
Or something.
Yeah.
No one's ever mentioned it in our family.
I know. Maybe it's a big secret. Maybe they're keeping
they
secrets
don't want to say
us.
that they put down $2,000 and
they already told us that he missed out on the Pizza Hut money.
Yeah,
So.
he turned down the Pizza Hut stock.
Oh, man.
He probably, he just practically laughed in their face.
Are you telling me
He
I
said
almost
nobody's going to eat
married a
that pizza
millionaire?
pie? Almost. If it weren't for the pizza pie.
Yeah.
It wasn't the pizza pie's fault. It was your grandpa's fault.
My
Sorry, your
grandpa
grandpa
great.
I don't even know what that means, but whatever.
My great grandpa, that's what it means.
Well, don't give me with that southern
don't blame
talk.
her. Blame Trevor. He's the one that started that.
Really? He is?
I think so.
I remember I went to school. This is so random, but I just called Grandma Great, right?
Right.
And that was just her name. I didn't know that her title was great grandma.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to school and I'm like, yeah, my grandma great, blah, blah, blah. And one of the girls was like, you mean your great grandma? And I'm like, no, my grandma great. And they're like, well, that's not right. It's your great grandma. I was so confused. Like, no, I promise. She's my grandma great.
My children called them that too. So
yeah. That was just their names.
Sure.
Anyway.
I was called great grandpa, but
I'm pretty sure Trevor started that whole
Probably.
He does start weird shit. So the next docket was Let's Reminisce, which had Cute Kitty, Franklin, Night of the Living Dead Phone, King, Billy No Mates, Hibakusha, which is a Japanese word, okay, and
Hibakusha?
Nobody's Home. Were you here for these?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were talking about a filmmaker earlier, and you said you didn't remember it. It was the Hibakusha was the director I was talking about. But this was kind of a just reminiscing on old. These are all older ones that were brought back to kind of show us some of the I don't know, film festival favorites.
Yep.
So for anybody that hadn't been there for old ones, like me and Tristan. And so I got to see some cool ones that apparently were big hits in the past. Any favorites among those? You two?
Oh, I was gonna save this towards the end, but that Billy No Mate.
You were gonna say that.
I'd never seen it.
Oh.
And I know the
gotcha?
guy. I know. I think it was Thomas that directed that one. Thomas Bernetto. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Thomas. But and he wasn't in it. He directed it. But oh my gosh, it was funny. I don't know who that actor was, but that was my number one probably of the whole weekend, just because it was new, just because it was new to me.
Okay,
that's so funny.
But Franklin, Living Dead Phone, I've seen them before. They're very funny, and enjoyed all of them really.
Why can I not remember Franklin at all? You've
with the
already,
girl that he made.
That's the second time you've told me what it was, and I keep on forgetting. I really did like that one.
I liked that one a lot too.
I liked that one a lot. I thought Night of the Living Dead was a cool little bit.
Yeah.
It was a good little fun story wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Billy No Mates was.
That was good.
Yeah, it was just about as perfectly cut, like just enough comedy in such a short amount of time. So
very, very British humor.
Oh, 100%. Tristan?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Just
I really
agree.
liked Franklin and Billy No Mates a lot.
Yeah, Franklin was one of the more serious of the three, even though it was.
It made me think of Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, I knew it would. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you've seen it?
Which one?
Lars and the Real Girl?
With Ryan Gosling.
I know the premise.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I
I've
love
seen it.
that movie.
Okay.
I love it.
We don't know a lot of people that have seen that movie. That's why I was like, "What? You've seen it?" But
Oh gosh, I've certainly been aware of it for years.
I hadn't. I just randomly saw it on Ryan Gosling's Letterboxd, and
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's check it out." And we both really liked it.
Okay,
I feel
didn't
like I've seen it.
you watch it and then we watched it together?
No, we just watched.
We watched
it
it
together.
together for the first time?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you told me about it and I'm like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
I told you
don't
about
wanna
it
watch
as
that.
we were like, "Hey, we should watch this movie," and you're like, "That sounds stupid."
The actor in Franklin, Nathan Smith, he's actually a great director in his own right. I don't think he had anything in this festival, but and the actress who played the creation, her name is Summer Camp. You can look it up.
Like her real name?
Yeah, Summer spelled with an O.
That's better.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
What old Summer's up to?
Well, she hasn't made anything according to Letterboxd since then, but that doesn't mean a whole lot.
Okay.
Because she definitely could have been some other shorts.
Like Kenny said, at least her first name isn't Concentration.
Very true.
Okay, Kenny.
Kenny's got a dark sense.
Yeah, I was about to say we know where his humor's at, but it says that Nathan Smith has done a couple things.
Oh yeah,
Dead Man Standing and Lights Camera Wichita over the past. That's the only thing that's Letterboxd on there, but I'm sure he's done a bunch of other stuff that's not on there.
for sure he has. He was probably interviewed in Lights Camera Wichita. No, Shattered Glass Productions is his.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, Franklin's was really cool. So that was a good one too. The next docket was probably the most serious of the whole entire festival, and kind of, I don't know, the power block of the festival too. It was called The Power of Love, which we had Waste My Time, Bloom, Faces After Suicide, You Get What You Pay For, Goodnight, Mr. Vincent Van Gogh, Love, Probing Questions, and Santa's Night Out. This is where Tristan and I had probably our favorite, which was Wasting My Time, but Bloom was also, like, all of these were really good. I mean, Faces After Suicide and Goodnight, Mr. Van Gogh were extremely hard to watch, really good. They were both documentaries from one woman who I guess is kind of doing a line of just all the suicide prevention because she's dealt with it in her life, and she's trying to bring awareness and hope for other people that have gone through the same thing. And the premise around the Faces After Suicide is she anonymously draws people's faces as they're discussing it in their discussions, and so
Support
there's no
group?
names on it. Yeah, support group. So there's no names, but she's an artist, and she started drawing them, and they're very distinct drawings.
Abstract.
Yeah, very abstract, but very, very distinct pieces of the different emotions that people go through while talking and hearing about people that have gone through the same situation, and how hard all of that is. But two really good,
very, very,
very powerful
cool.
and good
Yeah.
docs, and very different too about the same thing. The Vincent Van Gogh one is a animated storytelling of a book, and then the Faces After Suicide is an actual documentary about her and making the because it's an art exhibit as well.
Art.
So so yeah, that was a really good one. But all of these were really good. I mean, I think it ended with Santa's Night Out, which was a really funny Blue Barns production.
Yeah, I was gonna say no love for.
No, I have let this.
Oh yeah, no.
This whole docket was all
of them were really good. Yeah.
That's and that was Thomas Burnetto playing Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's like Probing Questions was
My
really good too. It was a funny little narcissist testing alien simulation thing that was really cool. So
I can't think of it.
that was the one where the main character was just an asshole the whole time at a birthday party, and then he was like getting questioned, and he was like saying what he did throughout the day, and he was just an asshole. The cake with
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
What you got, Adam?
Oh, I was just gonna say how funny Thomas is.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done a lot of things. He's been a woman. He's he's done different accents.
Yeah, and he wrote, directed, and acted in that one, right?
Well, I think so. Yeah, I know. I think I know. Obviously, he acted, but
I thought the writing was pretty funny too. So
yeah, and then he just partnered with Blue Barn.
Well, he's part of Blue Barn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did get that part. But
I didn't.
That's okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. But a favorite in there, Adam? Was it Santa's Night Out?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Just again, it was new to me.
Yeah. Okay. Had you already seen the most of the other ones here?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I stand by my choice.
Hey, that's totally okay. I'm a man of drama myself, so that's what I go towards. But they were fun. There was a lot of funny ones here. So
speaking of funny, I really liked Bloom a lot.
Yeah, Bloom was really cute.
It wasn't like.
It was just a cute little narrative story about an old lady.
It wasn't supposed to be like straight comedy, but it had funny parts for sure.
Yeah. That concluded Saturday, and I think we're just going to run through the awards because they were awarded after Saturday. So a big props to all the people that won. Micro Kansas Tribulation won, which was Bobby. Oh, I should not be saying these names because I will butcher every single one of them. On Off, which was the animated, won an award. Nicholas Villarreal. Santa's Night Out, Tamas Berdino. I hope I got that right. Bloom, Paul D. Sinque, won for that one. We also had Almost Sorta Maybe, that one, which was Lola and Patrick. Lolo. I'm never gonna get it right. Eventually, I will. Lolo, if you are listening, I will eventually get it right. Hopefully, by the time we meet again, I can say your name correctly.
Yeah.
Who Scammed Raja Rabbit, which was Sarah Harmon. Lady in Flower, David Wayne Reed. The Voice in the Dark, Aaron Brown. Probing Questions, Riley Delaney. Goodnight, Mr. Van Gogh. Lindsay Doolittle. Bird Lady, which was Carter Rostrom. Waste My Time, Amy Niku? No help there. Okay.
I don't have any idea. It's not on my page. So
Yosei? Yeah, that's probably smarter and better pronounced than I did.
Certainly more dignified.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Amy, if I didn't get it right. Your movie was amazing. I'm sorry I can't see your name right. Something to Fear, Brett Jones, and then Death by Kochi by Julian Libby.
And I it sounds like I skimmed over the rest of that block.
No, it's okay. I talked about a lot of them. So
the Van Gogh, Goodnight, Mr. Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah.
That I was talking to Lindsay Doolittle who created that,
directed it.
She has that is really a passion project. She she was married to was a policeman?
Yeah, it was a police officer
who committed suicide, and she's just really thrown herself into that project, and it's done really well.
I thought it was really cool. Lester asked her the question, like, does it ever get, I'm butchering what he said, but it was something like,
does it ever get hard?
Does it ever get like too overwhelming, like too much for you to handle all of this, like suicide loss survivor talk and all of that? And she was saying that she didn't get any support from people that she was expecting to get support from.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And nobody, so like she knows what it's like to not have anybody there to talk with you. And so she said it doesn't bother me to listen to people.
Yeah, it doesn't get overwhelming because I know how it felt to not have someone, and so
I want to be that person for
and
the
it's
people.
comforting. I would assume I don't want to put words in her mouth, but
Right.
you know, it soothes her knowing that she's doing something that she didn't get, and she's making it that much easier for that other person. So.
And I think she was saying that the film community has really embraced her, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, her
they're
not
really
only is
well
what
done.
she's doing really good, like her
The
work and
projects are really
everything,
good.
but also what she puts out is really amazing.
Yeah, because the Faces After Suicide is a very personal story, but also a really well done documentary. It's and then the Vincent Van Gogh is really well animated and a really cool. I don't want to say cool story, but it's a really good story that is about what feels like a real conversation between a
mother and
a
young daughter
talking about something that's very hard, and it's I believe it's also a book.
Yeah.
So both really good. And it sounds like she has a couple more things that she wants to do because she talked in the round table, and so.
Was that her that said that?
I
That she
believe
had
so.
2 more things that she wanted to do, or was that Sarah?
Oh.
Well, I know Sarah does.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I couldn't see them, so
Yeah,
I didn't
those-
know.
those
Remember what
chairs were
Lindsay had
really-
to say about that.
Yeah.
But,
The tables had high ceilings to them, so we couldn't see who was talking, if it was in front of us or behind us.
it's
So
not really a round table anymore. It's
it's okay though.
Yeah.
We still got to hear him. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Any more thoughts on any of those? Okay.
No.
I
wasn't here for the rest of the movies.
Okay.
So bye.
What was your favorite overall to everything?
Oh, Bloom.
Bloom? Sweet.
Okay.
Good job, everyone.
Okay, bye, Tristan.
Okay, bye.
Well, we can just kind of run through. These were a bunch of ones that had already shown.
Right.
Were all the Sunday ones? So you had seen most of these?
I don't know about all of them.
But a lot.
Just glancing at them, it looks like yeah.
Okay. So again, the blocks were Kansas Winners Encore, which was Second Love, Sherlock Holmes, The Speckled Band, to a really cool international love story in Second Love, and then a Sherlock Holmes kind of spin-off story, which was a comedy mystery, I guess.
Yeah, done by the Toddy brothers.
Yeah, they showed up a couple times, but were they there?
I didn't see them there this year. Yeah.
Okay. They seem to be recurring, so I figured they were, kind of a...
Yes. One of them, I think Sam was in both the Patrick and Lolo. He was the guy in the subway in Almost Sorta Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that I had seen him a couple times throughout the...
Yeah.
There was another movie that, he was it...
It was the James Bond... It's your museum in Kansas City.
Oh, okay. The Dangerous Proposal?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
So, that's the Toddy brothers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Missed you this year.
Yeah. We also had No Words Needed, which was a bunch of animated ones, which I thought were all really cool.
Oh, they were.
Which was Fawn. I'm gonna have to get real close on this one. Religitation.
Religitatio.
Yeah. Cognitation.
Cognition, I think.
See, this is very hard for me to read. I'm reading on a small thing, and the words are fuzzy. Light Sight. Sound Beyond Silence. Red Point. White Forest. Rock Pool. Turkish Resistance. Lineage and Suitcases.
Yeah.
I liked pretty much all of these, so
Totally
I don't think there was really much in the whole film festival that I disliked, but this was a really cool block to me. I don't watch a lot of animated shorts. My main history with animated shorts is just a TV show on Netflix called Love, Death, Robots, but they're just animated shorts. It technically a TV show where there's episodes, but each episode is a completely new, brand new animated short that has no ties with the last one.
Okay.
So it feels like, to me, it's more of just a collection of animated shorts that's produced by Netflix. And they're all really cool. So there's a plug to that if you haven't seen that before, to anybody listening. But when it comes to these, personal favorites were Suitcases and Light Sight. I think were two of my favorite out of here. But they were all, I liked them all. But those were like two of my favorites.
So the Light Sight was the light bulb head.
Yes. Yeah, where he was trying to get the light the whole entire time, and the walls were kind of fighting against him.
Yeah, that one was kind of Disney-esque, I thought, a couple times. Yeah, it's super hard for me to choose other. I like you. I just kind of melted into the whole thing. My favorite, if I had to pick one, was probably, what was the one with the rope, the people joining hands?
Lineage.
That was probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was a.
But I don't know any of these animators.
No. I don't either. There was one of the animators.
Was there local?
Yeah.
Did he talk afterwards? Was it a guy?
Yeah, I think it was.
Right. Doggone it.
Was it? I think it was Sound Beyond Silence.
Okay.
Oh no, that was in a. No, it's not on the list. It was a late submission.
Oh, okay.
It was something like colder than something. Something cold. It had something to do with cold. It was really good. I'm sorry we don't remember it. It's not on the list.
But like you, it was one of my favorite blogs.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it way more than I anticipated.
Yeah, I did not. I should have known with my love of Love, Death, Robots that I would enjoy little like 10 to 12 minute little shorts. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. And then the last one was Now That Was Funny.
Right.
Which most of these were again
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all were.
We had Want to Know, which is a cute little story. You had Fish, Draw a Card, Cautionary Tale, A Dangerous Proposal, Electrofly, Negative Space, Bag Full of Trouble, Panic Attack, Cowboy Land, Flaws, Supermarket, Come On, Shake Your Body.
Come On, Shake Your Body, Baby, Do That Rumba is the
full name.
Is the full name.
That they decided not to put on there.
Do you know that song, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it stood the test of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've heard it all.
Yeah.
I'm sure it made it in our middle school dances.
That guy was at the festival last year, and he was in a Walmart commercial.
Oh, that's cool.
A Star Wars themed Walmart commercial.
Sweet.
Like with Darth Vader and Chewbacca, like a nationwide. So yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. Kansas City.
Sweet.
So that was filmed in KC, and yeah, I'd seen most of these except for Cautionary Tales.
Yeah, you and Darla were talking during that one because it sounded like you kind of knew. You just were talking to her saying you kind of you thought you knew where it might have been going or something.
Yeah, well, it is called Cautionary Tales.
Yeah, you said the title kind of gave it away. But
right. No, golly, I didn't realize how loud I was.
No, you were right behind me. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were sitting right next to each other.
I want to know who did the makeup for that.
Really good. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I also did not know any of those Cautionary Tales.
Oh, really?
Never heard. Nope.
Must be a generational thing.
Yeah, because I was obviously knew like, okay, this is. I don't really know what a cautionary tale is, but I assume it's something like
stop making that face or it'll freeze that way.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I heard that when I was a little kid, but definitely didn't stick.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that's why his face was like that. I thought it was maybe just some weird face deformity, but I'm like, that doesn't really make sense with cautionary tale. I figured it was going to make sense later on, and it eventually did. So, yeah, but really cool. And the makeup was extremely well done. Even with the boy who was in the water too long, his whole makeup was pretty well done too.
Yeah, no doubt.
I really liked Cowboy Land, Draw Card, and where's that last one in here? Negative Space. Those were 3 really strong ones. Cowboy Land was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the whole little story. And then Negative Space I thought was pretty darn impactful for what it was. It was a stop motion animation, or was it just animated like one? I couldn't really tell. I figured stop motion, but
yeah, I'm really not sure either.
Yeah, it looked like it was a stop motion, but stop motion usually looks much more clay.
Yeah,
and it was, but whatever it was really cool, and a story about death and fatherhood that I wasn't expecting at the beginning. So that was really good.
I actually think that may have been my favorite one
of the shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one with the suitcases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so bittersweet.
Yeah. And I thought I had a great commentary on how so many kids like have just weird relationships with their fathers, and how they pick up, like, they're reaching out for something, whatever that is, and they pick something, and this was filling a suitcase. And he was kind of telling the story of, like, that's the one thing he could feel like love and like connection.
Yep.
And
didn't trust mom to do it.
Yeah. And that sense of his father being proud of him for this small thing, and that was enough. Like, doesn't take a lot for a son to feel much from it. You know, it's really impactful when a father says they're proud of their son, and I think it showed that really well. And was
no doubt
a really good little short. And then Draw Card was just funny from beginning to end. That was the one where drew the butterfly on the boss's card.
Oh,
yeah, it was just a real funny bit.
I'd seen it before, but I'd forgotten the punchline.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't know where it subverted your expectations. Right. I knew that something wasn't going to go right, but I was not expecting that turn at all. So It was really cool to get a change of. I mean, you kind of knew where it was going to go within 5 minutes, but it really flipped it on its head. So
I gotta say that one had a great obnoxious actor, the buddy.
Oh yeah, the asshole coworker.
And
I thought
almost sort of maybe has a really obnoxious receptionist.
Okay. Yeah,
and there was some good acting in this year's festival. I felt it was just those are the characters I liked. That
I thought the she wasn't in it much, but the coworker lady, she had a couple small little stuff, and I liked her.
So are we talking about almost sort of maybe?
No,
now?
the draw card. The coworker just sticks her head out for like 5 seconds a couple different times, and it was just real on the point, funny little lines that I appreciated, because it didn't need, like, you could do it without it, but it was
added a little something.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. Yeah. But yeah, we can jump. We don't have to go too long because this has already been quite a while. But the big feature film was sort of. I'm gonna pull it up on Letterboxd. So
almost, sort of, maybe.
Boom! Look at that. Someone. I'm just gonna go to my homepage, which will have it, because it was one of the last things that I reviewed. Never mind. I need to go to my profile. There it is. Yeah, for real. Almost, sort of, maybe. Directed by both Lolo Lauren and Patrick Poe. They directed, wrote, and produced the whole movie. As we found out, during the direct filmmakers roundtable. They've done quite a few feature length films.
6?
Yeah. Stunned Adam during the roundtable.
I know. I guess now that I think about it, I do remember them doing a feature once, but 6 of them, my gosh, they're so young, and they're really productive, and I've got to assume that almost sort of maybe's probably their crown jewel at this point. I mean,
it definitely sounded like it, and it definitely makes sense. It was if you don't know anything about the movie, it's just a rom-com. That's kind of what they like doing. What it seems is they're really into comedy. They like doing comedy stuff, and so they decided to write this practically all around Lindsay Weaver. From what it sounded like, they really liked her as an actress, and they wanted to put her in a lead role. And what better than a rom-com for a lead actress? So.
Yeah, I thought the production value was excellent. Looked good, sounded good. Apparently, it was all made in the Kansas City, Lawrence area.
Yeah.
The performances were great. A couple oddball, well, more than one, more than a couple oddball characters. The writing was unpredictable.
Yeah, it's very purposeful, and it's over. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I'm good with words and sometimes I'm not, but over dramatized, I guess, characters or exaggerations or whatever of characters. Like you have the secretary who's an overly obnoxious, and then you have the boyfriend who's overly stupid. Like
right.
This is a rom-com, so they really beef up the imperfections of people to create more comical scenes. And so and that's exactly what rom-coms are for, is to have these characters that are
exaggerated.
Yeah, exaggerated.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, sometimes I'm on point with the words, and other times they just don't come. So
other times I not understand what you say. Patrick plays a pretty large role in it, and as I've already mentioned, he's just one of those guys that the camera likes him.
And he likes the camera.
Yeah, that's for sure. He doesn't look like most people
Yeah.
And
well, what do you mean? You literally just said during the film festival he looks just like Corey.
I think he's got a resemblance to young Corey. Yes, I do, and I will stand by that.
But maybe in your defense, Corey is distinct as well. So that can be your defense, I guess.
Absolutely. But in this one, Patrick plays a hunk, and he plays a good hunk.
He nails it. Yeah. He definitely does nail it.
And what I was saying about the writing being unpredictable, it just doesn't end the way you think it's going to end.
No, and I
love that.
And that was my question after the film, when I got to ask the filmmakers themselves. They kind of bait you with each one of their characters, because this is a rom-com, so you know that there's going to be romance in it, and you're expecting there to be some sort of great love at the end. You're expecting them to land with someone, and that someone is going to be the person you want them to end up with, because that's usually what happens at the end of a rom-com. And the whole movie sets you up for the hunk to be that, even though you realize that he's not the brightest, but they really flip it on its head halfway throughout the movie.
Set it up for the
yes,
quote,
the
unquote,
assistant
nerdy hunk.
Yeah. Yes, the assistant. I agree with that. Once the movie once we find out that he's kind of a self maybe narcissistic or kind of all about him. I think that's where I was like, oh, okay, so we've set up that we have multiple bad men in her life, and then Brian I think is his name, is the only consistent good that we've had. And then I was like, okay, so that's where we're gonna go, and I like that. I liked him as a character. I thought he was witty and fun, and their office banter was about as natural as you can get in the office environment that they had created with an all-woman office, which I thought was a good bit.
Oh,
to have.
It was, yeah.
The all-woman office was because I think it flips the normal thing on its head. Is you usually have an all-men office that's misogynist, just kind of flips it all around. That a single man working in an all-women's office could be just as bad as a woman in an all-man. But yeah, I thought that was a really good bit.
And kudos to both Patrick and Lolo, but particularly Lolo. Just being a female director, getting her inroads to there's some festivals that really are on the lookout for female directors. I thought she did a fantastic job. Her kid sister Amber Joy was in it for a second. I've always got a kick out of her. Just a little cameo, but it's fun to see familiar faces in there, and they did all the editing, and I know there was a ton of work behind the scenes on that. So good locations, great locations actually.
Yeah, I think that the locations were really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was I don't know. I was going in ready for a rom-com, and I think the second half got me. I think it had a really strong second half. Which is good. Because sometimes it's the other way around. You have a really strong first half, and then they don't really know how to close it, and don't really know how to do anything. It just kind of pitters out. I think this was kind of the opposite of that. Not that it had a bad start or anything. It's just you were kind of getting to know the setting and your characters and stuff, and then once it's all there, that's when stuff really picks up and starts happening. And I think that's when I got quite a few more laughs towards the second half. The auditorium as a whole had quite a few laughs, but I laughed more towards the second half as everything had already been kind of submitted and they were kind of flipping some of that. So,
yeah, well, that's a good sign, probably.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Me too.
Well, anything else you want to?
No, I again, I'm just thrilled that you and Tristan could make it this year. I hope the Doc Sunback Film Festival has a long and bright future. I think they're open to every year I've gone, there's been some changes, and I think they're always looking to improve. But I hope it sticks around for a long, long time.
Yeah, I agree. I'll definitely go back next year and see what
there is a place for it.
Yeah. And if you guys are listening to this and it sounds like any kind of fun, definitely go check it out. If you guys listen to the podcast, you obviously like movies enough. You'll definitely find some stuff in there that you enjoy. And I'm not the biggest documentary guy at all. I know maybe that hurts. I hope it doesn't, because I've loved everything you've done. But
well, thank you. No.
Okay, good. But I don't gravitate towards documentaries normally. I usually gravitate towards narrative. But even then, I still enjoyed all of the documentaries that we got here. And it does help that a lot of it's local. You get to hear a lot of local stories that you didn't know, but all still really, really well done. So
sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely be back next year to watch everything else that they put out. But I guess to wrap up, almost sort of maybe, if you guys are listening, Patrick and Lola, you guys did a great job with it, and hope you have a good film festival circuit. I know they're waiting on to hear back on some other submissions.
Right.
So I hope you get into those and those go well as well. Yeah. And if you guys want another podcast to listen to, they do one as well, called what is it?
First Timers Club.
Yep, First Timers Movie Club.
Movie Club, yeah.
Um,
it's a great idea for a podcast.
And so I had no idea what it was. I listened to an episode today. They watch movies for the first time, or at least somebody there has to have watched it for the first time. I listened to their Die Hard episode, and so they had both seen Die Hard, but their guest hadn't. And so they kind of talk about the movie as a whole. They do a lot of research on the movie beforehand. I mean, like I said, I've only one episode in. I think I've only listened to one so far, but
oh gosh, they've done Sunset Boulevard. They've done, Jurassic Park. Just a lot of,
Yeah, and they release them every few weeks. But they definitely put a lot more research in their stuff than say we do. We watch a movie and we give you our opinions. They give you a lot of
it's
really cool
easier if
tidbits.
you're researching a movie that's 50 years old.
Fair enough. I probably could dig in a little bit more, but we're here. I like talking about movies more than talking about cool little tidbits about movies. I think it's cool when other people bring it to me, but I usually don't search for that kind of stuff in my personal life, and so I like talking about what other people like and dislike about a movie more than that. But I like listening to it. Like I listened to the Die Hard episode, and I liked listening to everything they had to say and all the stuff that they found out. What?
Well, Patrick and Lolo, I am still available for the Top Gun.
That's true. Yes.
Episode.
Yes.
Because it really is unbelievable that I've never seen it. But at this point, I purposely avoided it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just rude at this point. 'Cause
aggressive?
A little bit. That's like the people that don't watch Star Wars because they haven't watched Star Wars.
That's
and they're
true.
like, they might as well they're like, it's a part of my personality that I've never seen Star Wars.
That is true. And they love telling people. Yeah. That's annoying.
You're not at that level because at least it's only Top Gun, and you don't walk around telling everybody when you talk about movies.
And plus,
but
I've seen like every other movie in the 80s. So,
yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
Really?
But yeah, it's just a fun. It's overly masculine, but it's got great music. It's fun. It's action. It's not standard
handle
action pack.
overly masculine. I mean, 300. And
No, it's not. But it's not bad. Like it's not. I wasn't saying that as a bad thing.
Dumb. That's all I can say. It just looks dumb.
Well, I think you might be pleasantly surprised about how not dumb it is.
Okay.
Even though it might have dumb parts, because it is an 80s, action movie. But I mean, it's up there as some of my favorite 80s action movies.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love RoboCop. I love Lethal Weapon. I'm probably blanking on a whole lot. Die Hard, Rambo.
Yeah.
And those are all up my alley. And Top Gun's just feels like a classic. Just from start to beginning, you just feel like this is going to always be a cementing the 80s feel. And I like movies that do that. That like they feel like the embodiment of that generation or that time period.
I do too.
Well, I guess that's about it. Thank you, Adam, for coming and talking about the film festival. I didn't know. When I did it, I wanted to do an episode on it, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to get anybody that was there. I thought I may be asking a few different people, but I didn't get the courage to ask too many. And I thought maybe about asking Patrick and Lolo, but they were heading back to Kansas City that night. So they're busy.
I have no doubt they'd do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure they would have, but I didn't want to stress them with time because they seem to be pretty busy with a lot of projects that they're doing.
Oh, sure.
Apparently they had been to 3 film festivals and or maybe it was just 2. They went straight from a film festival to the 2 docs on Sunback. So
Kansas City.
Yeah. So they had a pretty busy past couple days, and so I was like, well, they'll probably come down to Wichita at some point. I'll see if they want to hop on one. So thank you guys for listening. If you want to find Adam, I guess you can follow him on Twitter if you want. I don't know your Twitter handle, but
it's Real Adam Knapp.
There you go. And you can see when you can also follow God Save the Wings. And next time it's showing in Wichita, I highly recommend going and seeing that. I feel like it's been too long since I've seen it because it's been over 2 years since I got to see it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. It was just bad timing for the release in general.
Oh, because of the pandemic, you mean?
Yep. Yeah, he knows all about it. We don't need to get in too much about it. But yeah, when it comes back to Wichita, we'll come back to Wichita at some point in this area. Give it a watch. So follow that the God Save the Wings Twitter and Adam to see when that's coming back, or when he finally does another project. We'll get to watch that and promote that.
We shall see.
All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense.
No, none taken.